Tottenham may have made another expensive mistake in their recruitment strategy during last month's January transfer window. Tottenham will be praying they have not wasted close to £40 million on the signing of Pedro Porro from Sporting. After the defender's failure to impress since joining the North Londoners in the January transfer window, Porro joined Spurs on an initial loan deal with an obligation to buy for £39 million at the end of the season, but is yet to prove himself in the Premier League following his less than impressive debut against Leicester City earlier this month. The 23-year-old was largely poor in his first match for Tottenham and was left as an unused substitute in Sunday's win over West Ham United, a game in which Emerson Royal started on the right-hand side of defence. The latter was one of his side's best performers against the Hammers, and it seems as though Porro will be forced to play a backup role for the foreseeable future unless Emerson's form drops off over the coming weeks. Porro was one of just 2 senior signings for Tottenham in January, with Arnaud Danjuma also joining on loan from Villarreal until the end of the season, but risks going down as an expensive mistake if he is unable to keep himself in the starting lineup at Spurs before his move is made permanent in the summer. It seems as though Tottenham's money could have been better spent on one of their other reported targets, with several high-profile names having been overlooked by the club over the course of the mid-season window. They would arguably have reaped the rewards of signing a centre-back in January as opposed to Porro, especially if Emerson continues to keep his new teammate out of the side between now and the end of the season. Inter defender Alessandro Bastoni was heavily linked with Spurs throughout last month and would have perhaps been a better addition to their squad if he could have been snapped up for around the same price as Porro's obligatory purchase clause, which is set to be activated in the summer. Tottenham are known to be on the lookout for at least one new central defender, with Clement Lenglet's loan deal set to expire when the campaign draws to a close, and Bastoni would have provided a long-term solution in the position with no shortage of quality to start with from the off. The 23-year-old is a player known well by Antonio Conte, who he previously worked under at the San Siro, and would be well placed to shore up a Tottenham defence which has conceded the highest number of goals in the Premier League's top half so far this season. Sofiane Amrabat was another player linked with Spurs in January and may have been a stronger addition than Porro given Tottenham's shortcomings in midfield over the last few weeks. The Morocco international shone for his country at the World Cup last year and would have been a valuable asset for the North Londoners in their Champions League defeat to AC Milan earlier this month, which saw the inexperienced pairing of Oliver Skipp and Pape Matar selected to start in the middle of the pitch due to a lack of alternative options. The likes of Nicolo Zaniolo and Yuri Tielemans could also have been on the move for less than Porro, with the former having since joined Galatasaray for a transfer fee in the region of £18 million. Tielemans, meanwhile, will be out of contract at the end of the season as things stand and may have been signed for a cut price amount in January. If Tottenham had sanctioned a move for his services instead of chasing a deadline day swoop for Porro, it remains to be seen if Porro will eventually come good at Tottenham, who will be counting on him to perform when called upon, as they look to secure Champions League qualification with a top 4 finish in the Premier League when the campaign draws to a close. Only time will tell if he will be able to justify his £39 million transfer fee, or if he will end up joining the likes of Tondine Dumal and Brian Gill as yet another expensive flop, with his debut showing against Leicester having done little to help his cause.